All right, the last thing that I want to talk about here before I give you a couple minutes to work on homework is order of operations. Okay. You guys have heard of this expression before, right? Anybody remember what the little acronym is? Yeah, right. PEMDAS. And please excuse my dear Aunt Sally is how you might have learned it. And these letters simply represent the order that math is calculated. So parentheses first. And this includes all grouping symbols. So it includes brackets as well. And E is exponents. Okay. M and D is multiply and divide. And these are together. There's not, one doesn't have priority over the other. And make sure you're not confused on that. I had my 6th grader last year came home, and when we went over this in his math class, he brought it home the next day, and it was marked wrong because his teacher taught him you have to multiply before you divide. And so she was wrong on that. So I wrote a nice little note telling her that she did it wrong. And so I want to tell you guys right now, before you corrupt little 6th grade minds if you ever become teachers, okay, the M, the D, it doesn't matter which order they go in. It can be done in any order. They're just kind of together. Because really they're the same thing, right? Dividing is multiplying by the reciprocal, so it's not even a different operation. Okay, and then the A and the S, the add and the subtract, same thing. There's no priority over either of those because subtracting is equivalent to adding the opposite. So you're really doing the same operation on each of those, but that's the order that you do these. And now, the advantage for you guys and in this class is that I'll always allow you to use your calculators, okay, including on all quizzes, all tests, including the final, you get to use your calculator. Okay, the calculator is built in order of operations. So if you enter something in your calculator, it will automatically perform the operations in the correct order. And so if I gave you something like this, I want you to see if you can calculate what would the answer be to this problem. So you do grouping symbols first. Okay, right, that's parentheses. So -1 plus 2 is a positive 2. Okay, minus 4 squared, that would be step 1. Well, step 2 now, any exponents. We've gotten rid of all the grouping symbols. The exponents mean we have 2 minus 4 squared, which is 16. And now, don't assume that these are being multiplied. Okay? Because you have 2 minus a 16 tells you that now you go to the add and subtract. So when we combine these, 2 minus 16 is, so -14 is what you would wind up with. Yes, sir?
So if it doesn't have parentheses around -4 for the -4?
Correct. Yeah. So unless there's, if there happened to be like a symbol here to represent multiplying, then you would do that. And now let's say if we didn't want to do this by hand, or mentally, let's say we just entered it in the calculator the exact way that it appears. We have -1, again the negative for change of sign, plus 3, close the parentheses, minus is the subtraction key, 4 to the power of 2, 4 squared is equal to, and it confirms -14 would be your answer. All right. Here's what I would like you to do is I would like you to work on the homework from 1.2 on page 14. Okay, and the way that I will generally do the homework is I will go through notes and examples for 1 or 2 sections of the homework. I don't like talking for more than about 10 to 12 minutes at a time. So I'll talk about that long. I'll go in, I'll assign you whatever problems have to do with what I talked about, and then we'll go through those together. And if there are questions on them, I'll answer those questions. Okay, but I want you to do problem 16 to 26, just the evens, okay, on that page. And then, again, today we'll probably run out of time, but if we still had time, I would answer questions about those problems. And